am going back to Goodwill. I actually found something yesterday that was so amazing, and I'm really excited to see if there's something more there. I didn't get a chance to look as much as I wanted. I will include that video that I took yesterday, but I'm so excited because, you know, if you love vintage things and you find them for cheap, that is so exciting. I am also taking you guys to Michael's. All of that is coming up next, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you the best finds from this store. I went 2 days in a row because there was so much here, and I'm going to show you all of the things like these incredible chairs. But this cane chair caught me by surprise. I have been looking on Facebook Marketplace for a chair like this. It didn't have the color or fabric that I was looking for. But look at this. It has such pretty details. I decided to take this home and do a DIY to change it into what I want it to be. I will explain that later in the video. I mean, that's $35. I placed it on hold while I was continuing to shop. Not only did I find those chairs, but look at this one. It has a neutral fabric, and the wood is like a cozy, warm honey color that goes so well with that fabric, don't you think? It is so pretty. I also came across this oak desk. It comes with this chair that has a plaid cushion, which I think is perfect for the fall season. It has these really cool drawers. I noticed some of the handles missing, but there they are, right there on top of the desk. It has such a nostalgic look. I was looking for the price, and then later, after I recorded this, notice it was right there on top of the desk. Here is a nice clock for $12.99. The wood actually didn't look real, so I'm not sure if that was vintage. But this one had a lot of interest from people that were walking in. It has a nice look, and at $13, that's a good price. I have to say, today, the prices were pretty good. Like these pillar candles. They have that really nice light wood that's really popular right now. They could fit in so many styles. And under $10, I think that would be a great addition to any home. And of course, I noticed this crystal candlestick. It is actually really stout, and it is $10. I mean, isn't that pretty? And then here's one right next to it. I was trying to imagine what to put inside. You could do a really big candle. I just like the ornate look of it. I mean, look at the sides here. I think that's really neat. What would you do with that? Now these definitely have an old world look. It is more of a copper color. And for some reason, I think it's because it's fall, I'm noticing all of the gold, brown colors. Now these ones I could see on a staircase with glowing candles going up the stairs. That would be so nice. That would be about $24 for all of those. And then right next to it was this planner, and it was so perfect with the hole at the bottom. It has a terracotta interior, a really nice blue color on the outside, and I thought it was in really good condition. I bought a couple that are similar to this at another thrift store, but these are definitely heavier. I always like to look at the bottom if I can see where they're made. This is made in China, which means it's not an antique or a vintage find, but they definitely are pretty for a table. And this one could be for fall, but it also could be for Christmas. It is $3. A great layering piece. Now this one was incredible, not because of this print, but because of this beautiful gold frame. I mean, look how chunky that is. I have seen frames smaller than this go for $100. And of course, I love looking at the baskets. This one looks very different than ones I've seen. Here are some details of the handle here. And then let's see the price. It is $7. I'm going to turn this over to show you what it looks like on the side. It has a darker color. I mentioned I am trying to line the top of my kitchen cabinets with baskets, but they have to be a certain size, and this one is actually short. It does have some handles, which I think are really neat. But you know what? The best part of it was the price. It is $4. I'm going to show you later on at Michael's the price of their baskets, even at 50% off. I am happy with this price. I am taking that home. I really like the look of this one. You could put this by the fireplace and fill it up with pumpkins. It is $5. Baskets are so great for adding texture to a home and make it warm and cozy. Now there are a lot of things on this shelf. I'm going to show you what I found. Here's a little teacup and saucer. Has a little ding on the top. And it is made in Germany. It says Missouri Glass Company. It is $4. But I could not believe this. I was twirling it around trying to find the price. It is actually not as delicate as it looks. It is actually pretty stout. What a unique piece. But this coffee pot is so pretty. It has gold. And I'm going to show you so many things, so I'm going through this really quickly. This is $10. I could see using this at a tea party. Even this crystal bowl. You could put strawberries or grapes inside to serve at the table, along with the nice teapot filled with coffee or tea. I love doing tea parties for my family. I think it's a lot of fun. Here is a crystal bell. I have to tell you, I was noticing these little stickers. It says lead crystal, over 24%. I will show you another one that says something similar. I may need to do a little research on what that means. But anyway, here's a cute little bunny rabbit. You could change the ribbon, but it adds a whimsical look on a shelf during the Easter season. This one is $5. I like to shop year-round for all the seasons, especially if I find something for a really good price. Now, I think this was meant for cologne, and I will show you how I found that out in just a moment. It is $4, but it's here on the bottom. It says Avon. I've heard these are collector's items. If you know, I would love for you to share. And then here is a little matching set. It has a really pretty blue floral design. And this one is $4. Has a lid. And then this one is interesting. It has a tan lid with the same floral design. And it is $2.99. And I noticed a couple little creamers or little pitchers. I don't know. I think these are so cute. There are 2 of them. But as always, I love milk glass. I am always intrigued by the design of them. And when you find them for cheap, that is so much fun. This one is $3. And then I found this cute little cherub. He has his little wings. And I was trying to look for the price. It is $5. And then here is a cow creamer. I am actually going to buy one eventually, but I want it to look different than the one I have. I don't know why, but I think little dolls like this are so cute. I used to play with dolls when I was a little girl. Maybe that's why. This one has cute little ringlets and a pretty little blush pink dress and a little purse and cute little shoes. And on the aisle behind me were these vases. I'm going to only show you a couple, like this one. It is $7. And then right next to it is another one, but the reason why I am noticing this one is because look, it is so thick. You cannot find vases like this with such high quality for $6 at Target, Home Goods, or Walmart. It's things like this that has changed the way I shop by going to thrift stores. It is so addicting because of the quality and the ability to find old things. Like this plate. The overall look of it is stunning. It has the brown background, the yellow and pink roses. There is one rose that is burgundy. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? The best part is you can know that you are holding something that is old by looking on the back. It says it's hand painted and is from Bavaria. I looked it up on Google Lens and it's from 1903 to 1905. So that one was an antique. What an incredible find. Here are a couple of jars. I will later show you some from Michael's. It was actually eye-opening when I went there to see how much things are. It makes me appreciate my life being a thrift store shopper. Look at this. It is a silver sugar bowl for $6. I really like the handles on this one. They are very ornate. And back here is another jar with a lid. Has a good seal on it, which makes it great for food, and it's $3. It just adds a nice look to a pantry or a cupboard. I noticed these little bowls is part of a set. This one is priced at $3. What's interesting is that the bigger bowl underneath is also priced very similar to those little ones. I mean, check this out. It is $3 as well. And I turn it over to see where it's made, and it's from Switzerland. I am also curious to see how much that bigger bowl is. It is $5, so that would be $14 for the whole set. It has such a simple, sweet design. I love finding sets. You can see this used for popcorn. Now here are a couple crystal bowls, very useful, and believe it or not, I have put mine in the dishwasher and they clean up really nice. I have been really impressed with the prices today, and this one is $5. And then there's another one underneath I actually think is very unique. I'm trying to find a place for the other bowl. Okay, so here's this one. It is $6. Crystal pieces can be so unique, and I'm going to show you one in a moment. It is different than ones I've seen before. Now, what I'm about to show you, I think, is the best deal of the day. It is this cute set of bowls. There are a total of 5 of them. I'm trying to get a really good grip. And it's really hard to see, but I looked it up and it says it's Victoria from Austria. And yes, that is $4.99 for all 5 bowls. It is such a sweet pattern. I found these 2 beautiful plates. And I love that color of blue. Excuse my finger. I am trying to film with my left hand. I hurt my finger, and so it is not a pretty sight. So anyway, this is a Romantica festival design. And look, there are 2 of them. Remember those 5 bowls for $4.99? Here is the matching plates. Now this would be great for serving hot food or a party. Doesn't that look like it's from Downton Abbey? And by the way, are you watching the new movie? It's the Downton Abbey finale in the theater. I'm excited to take my daughters to go see that. Anyways, these bowls look so delicate. We have a couple of these on our counter where I put some croissants and cookies for our family during the week. I think it just has a nice look. Now this is what I was talking about. Now this one says it has 24% crystal lead, which makes me wonder if it's toxic or not. But things like this you could just display. One is $5. And let's see, the other one is, $6. Let me know if you know about the lead in crystal. This pedestal bowl would be perfect for putting pumpkins inside, or for a more natural look, you could put walnuts or pine cones. Now, I have been doing this for a while, and my eyes just notice vintage things from across a room. And these chairs caught my eye. You could use one for an office chair or for the entrance, and at $14.99, that is a really good price. And then there's a matching one. I'm showing you the fabric. It is tan and feels really soft. The legs are a little more plain than what I have seen, but I think they are still worth getting. Now I'm going to show you some jars. These ones are for water or punch, whatever you want to serve for drinks. Like that one that's a Christmas tree. This one is $7.99. And then there are these apothecaries for $5.99. And wait until I show you what they cost at Michael's. This one looks perfect for putting honey in or jam. I love adding 2 cups of frozen raspberries and adding 1 tablespoon of chai seeds to a jar, and I give it a good stir and it thickens like jam. And it's so easy to make. Now this water pitcher is pretty neat with that star on the bottom, and that price was pretty incredible. I love the look of decanters, especially the stoppers. And yes, I'm carrying around that basket. And this one is $4.99. I have seen these at antique stores for up to $60, so that is a really good price. This looks like a vase, but I actually think it is a decanter without a stopper, but I'm not sure. And at the end of an aisle, I noticed this apothecary jar for $10, and it's pretty big. I bought that basket and that chair, and I stuffed it in my car, and I'm taking it home. I will show you what it looks like later. And now it is day 2, and those chairs are still here. But in the back, I found something new that just showed up. It is a cane chair. The fabric feels like velvet. This one is $40. The cane webbing has 2 different colors. It has tufted buttons. It is a mid-century chair from the 1960s. And these actually showed up today. These are some old antique tables. This one has such pretty wood. You can really see the grain. And it has a leaf. I mean, look at the sides. It's curved. Looks like some bars between the legs. And you wouldn't believe it is $100. This would easily sit 8 people. It is really wide. The other tables I will show you in just a little bit, but first I want to show you the rugs. I am really picky about rugs because they get a lot of wear and can look pretty ratty. So sometimes I do buy those new. But this one is really pretty with the different colors, and it's $30. And I believe that one is a 5x8, or it could be a 5x3. It's hard to tell. And another great thing to look for are lamps, and I am seeing one right away. It has a black base and a curved top that reminds me of an old lamp, and the plug-in looks pretty good. The lampshade has a burlap look to it. Price is $15. I am just liking the overall look. You're probably wondering why I'm showing you this lamp. I think this was added with some hot glue because you can see it at the top. But I'm showing you this because they are $5 each, and that base looks like a revival Renaissance look. And this one looks like a little electric candle. It's hard to imagine putting a lampshade on top, but I thought it was interesting and looks like it has potential. Now I'm going to show you another table. This is for a deck or a porch. It is $50. It has this glass on top, and I like the wicker look of it. It is really large, great for a party outside. But here are those other old tables I wanted to show you. This one looks like it's from the 1930s or 1940s, and it is $40. It looks like they have some brass tips on the legs. I think it looks really nice. It has some scratches on top. Sometimes you can refinish tables and make them look new, especially this one. I mean, look how thick that wood is. I am just loving the grain. And can you believe that is $30? I mean, that is really nice. In real life, you can really see the beauty of the oak. Now I'm going to show you a lamp. It is kind of weird. I'm not sure if this is an ashtray in the middle, but I love that it's gold and it has an ornate look to it. And let's see, it is $40, but it's this that I don't like. That shade is just so small. Look at the details. Here is the switch to turn it on. And now I'm going to show you the overall look. This is a set of dishes, teacups, and saucers. They are creamy white and have a gold, kind of copper look to them. On the back it says Taylor Smith made in the USA. And let's see, this plate, it is $1 and it is really pretty. I think these would be so beautiful to set a fall table. They would go so well with the colors of green and orange. And up here are the little bowls with the same design. And this one is $2. And this set has the gold edging as well with some navy blue. And on the back it says Hayase China, made in Japan. And this looks like the sugar bowl. The tape is not on there very securely. And then at the back here, underneath this gravy bowl is the bowl. It's the most expensive of the pieces for $12.99. They definitely have an elegant look to them. Now I was mentioning that there was an interesting crystal piece, and this is it. I believe this is a brass handle. Someone mentioned that if it's truly a vintage piece of crystal, it will have a signature on the bottom. It would be interesting to discover that. I mean, look how thick that crystal is. Yesterday I showed you the sweetest set of bowls, and here are the plates. Look how neat those flowers are. Isn't that sweet? You could get that whole stack for $15. And here is a 2-tier basket, perfect to put fruit in, and that was $13. It's hard to believe that I was here just yesterday, and today there are brand new things on the shelves. I don't remember seeing this one. It has a really thick stopper on the top. It's $15. And then this one is a white pitcher. It has a farmhouse look for $5. Now I almost bought this, but I later on found out it's really chippy when I gave it a really good look. But it sure is nice. I did end up getting something today, and I will show you what that is a little later. Do you remember the baskets from yesterday? Look at the new ones they added. I'm telling you, you could come here every day and find something new. The bigger one is $13, and then there's this really small one. I was showing you what it says. It says dry cleaning on the side. It looks really clean actually. And this one says darks, and I think it's inside out. But anyway, I thought those were great finds. And then beside it is another one. It's kind of bigger, which I'm looking for. It makes the closet look clean and tidy to have something like this. And it's $5. Can you beat that price? I didn't like that the lining doesn't come off so you can wash it. Laundry can be a little stinky at times, don't you think? I mean, let's be real. Now I'm going to show you something behind me. This is called Three Graces by Emile Vernon. You can get the print online for $30 or less. But this one is framed, and it is so pretty. I love that little rabbit and the soldier doll. Here is another vintage looking frame, the burlap middle. This is family, and it has a key, and I think it means my family has the key to my heart. If you know what it means, let me know below. But I like that chippy look. And then here's another one. It has the brown, and it looks like it's French. the stamp at the top there, and then down below it's got some writing. I have seen something similar on Pinterest when looking at fall decor, and it gave me an idea, and I will show you when I do my fall tour of my home. And now I'm back where the frames are, but I'm not looking at them anymore. But look, it is a water pitcher and basin. And when I got home, I realized there's actually two pictures. There's the one with the house, and on the other side, it has a windmill, which I didn't know. It is called a Delft set, and it is made in the USA. This pitcher is $15. And you know what? I found out that the basin is also sold separately for $13. You can kind of see the mills on the side. It has a creamy white look to it, which I really love. That is so pretty. And behind me were some frames that I didn't notice before. This one is gold, but I'm going to show you what this looks like up close. Those are leaves, which are perfect for the fall season. And that was a pretty good price at $7.99. Wow. I like this saying, my dad is a true classic. Yes, he was. And I'm going to show you a few things on this shelf. You wouldn't believe me, but this was not here yesterday. I think they were working on this area. It really does look nice, doesn't it? I noticed this little teapot. Looks like it's hand painted. And on the bottom it says, made in Germany. And I'm going to turn it over so we can see the price on that. It is $7. I really like the colors of those flowers. I don't know, this reminds me of a genie bottle. I don't know, I think it's the handle. But it's actually meant for a candle. You can see it there in the middle. You could shine this up and make it look so pretty. And I think this is a planner for $13. I like the gold handles on the side. The colors are muted, which I really like. And finding brown bottles during this fall season is so exciting. I really was considering buying these. There are two bottles with cork tops, but what stumped me was this wooden carrier. It's $10. It does have this really nice lion on the front, which I think is pretty neat. But I'm not going to get it because I don't want to have to get rid of that. I don't know. That was a neat find. I am walking over to the clothing area because I could see some milk glass over here. And this one you're going to think is so funny. And maybe you can share your knowledge with me. But upon looking at this bottle, I was wondering if it looks like Santa Claus. It reminds me of those Santa Claus mugs. I mean, look at this. Do you see that? And here are some milk glass cups and saucers for $4. And I think that's pretty neat too. And then there is this goblet. You could probably use it as a vase. And let's see, it is $4. That is actually kind of see-through, which makes me wonder if it's really milk glass or not. And back here are some more milk glass teacups. And inside is the price. They're $4 for the 2 cups. Here's a Victorian lady sitting on a chair. Now this one I think is actually a sugar bowl. I will show you why I think that. Because over here, it looks like a creamer. And I'm wondering if that other one has a lid. Make it look the same height. Because the sides look the same. I'm not sure. This one is $8. And back here are a bunch of teacups showing you how many. There's 3 sets and a couple single ones. And over here is another 3, which makes a set of 6. Now tell me, were those the greatest 2 days of shopping? I really love this store. I am always finding amazing things, and lately for really cheap. And the best part, it has helped to make my home beautiful. So now I'm going to go into Michael's. I also am in search of some flowers. That is one way you can decorate your home inexpensively, is just to switch out your spring and summer flowers for fall things. This is the best time to go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby when they're having their sale. And I really like that they have things for Thanksgiving as well as fall decorations. The prices aren't too bad when you get them on sale. This one I believe would be $12. And then there is this really pretty turkey platter. And then on this side is a pumpkin plate. Could probably use this for a serving dish for the holidays. I believe this one is half off, so that is $3.50. And you know, if you took one of these pretty fall plates, it is, let's see, $6.50, and you place it on top of this placemat, that would be at about $13 per place setting, which isn't that bad if you use that every year. I think those are so pretty. Now here is something I have seen trending on Instagram. It is these gold pheasants, and there are these quails. I believe they are $8.50 a piece. There was also a turkey. There are some napkin rings. This is an example of why it's important to shop early, because when something is really popular, it is out of stock, and these ones are dwindling away quickly. You can also purchase these online if you want. I think these ones are so cute. But the reason why I am going down this aisle is really to show you some vintage inspired home decor at Michael's. I mean, there are some cute things here. I can't wait to show you. But first, I have to show you these baskets. We were just looking at baskets at Goodwill. I want to show you the prices. This one, I believe, is $15. And there are these velvet pumpkins. They are so squishy and so soft. And I think they're $4.50 on sale. And I like the colors. The orange and burgundy are really pretty together. And then here is a wreath. I really like the price on this one. That would be $5. You couldn't even make it for that price. I went to another Michael's 2 weeks ago and found a white version of this one, but they are totally out of stock. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you a lot of baskets. I'm just giving you an idea how much they really are in real life. This one is $10, and then this one here looks a lot like the one that I just purchased for $4. It is $10, and it is nice that these ones are half off though, and I guess that's not too bad really. Here's that 50% off sign. But this is where it gets really fun. I'm going to show you some vintage inspired pieces like this. There are some gold signs that I just think are so pretty. I could see this placed on a front door or propped up against a lantern outside, or you could hang it on your siding by using command hooks. Lots of ideas, and it's so glamorous with the gold. And then I really like this little one. On the back, it looks like it can be hung up. And then, let's see, I was looking at the price. It would be around $5 for that sign. And look at this. You could put this next to your sink and put some soap in there, like in a guest bathroom. And the prices are pretty good at half off. This looks like a jewelry box. This is $5 on sale. I think that is so cute. There's another one back here that's a little smaller. I'm showing you what my middle finger looks like in case you notice it. I cut the tip of my fingernail while chopping vegetables the other day, and so it's a little tender. But anyway, here are some really nice canisters. I really like the floral design. They are so pretty. And let's see, that would be $7.50 per canister, I think it is. Now I think this is my favorite piece here at the store. It is so romantic and so pretty. It has this really neat top. It really looks vintage, doesn't it? So it's $25, and I don't know what you would do with it. You could probably use it as a backdrop for a vanity. I don't know, what would you do with it? And then here is some really pretty ribbon, and that is $5 for that. Now this wreath is considered fall decor. You can see it here when I show you this. It is $30 for that. What do you guys think? It's so pretty, but it reminds me of spring. And this frame is in the Halloween area. It just has a vintage look to it. I'm trying to show you the price. It is $6.99. None of this is on sale. You could take that photograph out and put something else in there. And this clock is $20. Now I'm going to show you this area. This is really neat. I mean, you could make your bathroom, your kitchen look glamorous. Using apothecary is just a beautiful way to decorate your home. You could use them for so many things. My favorite way is to use a medium-sized one for Epsom salt next to my tub. Now this is the price I was trying to show you. These go between $26 to $60. They do have a sale every year on these, and I think they can be 50% off of the big ones. But these prices aren't too bad. $3.49 for these, and they come in different sizes. All of these have the clamp and they are airtight. If you see, it doesn't matter which size they are all $3.49. And down here, there's some smaller ones. You could use these for spices. I could see this one for vinegar and oil, especially this bigger one. It would be so pretty next to the stove. And of course, these ones are traditional, aren't they? For oil and vinegar. I'm just showing you these jars to give you ideas of how to use them in your home, but also showing you the prices here at Michael's versus Goodwill. And when you find things like this at Goodwill for cheap, that makes it that much more rewarding, and I think a lot of fun to get a bargain at Goodwill or a thrift store. But this is why I'm here. I want to get some flowers. There are particular ones that I'm looking for, and I will show you that in just a moment. Isn't this a pretty mum? I also love looking for green leaves, and these ones are really fluffy. They fill up a vase so nicely. And these ones are actually $3.50 each, which is a really good price. This is the one I actually ended up purchasing. It is a really pretty orange dahlia and a couple of those leaf branches. And I will show you later how I style these in my home. And there are so many pretty ones, but these are the ones I was looking for. I want to add them to a white pitcher in my kitchen, and I will show you that in just a moment. So now I am heading home. It is the next day, and I am excited to show you what these flowers look like in my kitchen. I have a white Falsgraf pitcher. I filled them up with these daisies, and I got this print actually off of Etsy, and I printed it from FedEx print shop in my area. And I'm just really liking the overall look here. And then I am in my fireside room. I quickly put things together just to give you guys ideas, like this huge white pitcher, and I put that dahlia inside. So pretty. But here is that chair that I bought from Goodwill. Right now, it does not look like it belongs, I know that. But I already have a plan. Do you see this rug? It is blue, and I'm going to take this fabric and I'm going to paint it with Annie Sloan chalk paint in a color blue. It's very similar to that neck pillow there on the back. I'm not going to touch the wood. It is going to be an easy DIY. I'm going to show you step by step how to do it in a video. It is actually really easy to do once you know how. I think it'll tie everything together. I'm excited to show you the final results. If you've never seen it before, I actually did a chalk paint DIY on that antique sofa. I will link that up above. It is my joy to show you inexpensive ways to decorate your home, sharing ideas on how to decorate on a budget. My motto is, it shouldn't cost a lot of money to make your home beautiful. And over time, step by step, I have worked hard to create a beautiful home, and I love it. Thanks for watching.